Welcome, I'm Lord Arcane, and this is my first episode of a land warfare series in Kerbal Space Program. I'm joined by 4040.
Hello.
He is the other players, as you might want to put it, in this game, and we are currently teaming up together to take on well, you might be best explaining them. Who is it we're facing?
So they're the Northern Coalition. So the Northern Coalition are a collection of states from Series 3 that have bounded together and have taken over the world in a blitzkrieg style attack, which was in the PvP Series 3 that we took part in. This particular land warfare series is a stopgap or prelude to his PvP Season 4, which should be running in parallel more or less. The episodes will be spaced out a bit more in PvP Series 4 because there's potentially more players. And this is the story of how the corporations from the end of Season 3, where the Northern Coalition had taken over most of the planet, where the corporations, who are the friendly, free corporations, managed to take back the planet and get themselves set up ready for Season 4 PvP. So this is Kerbal Space Program Land Warfare. It's 2 players trying to take back the world from the bad guys, who are the Northern Coalition. And the main mod we're going to be using for that is BD Armory and North Kerbin Dynamics, which allows us to have AI to fight against.
Excellent. Well, like I said, this is my first turn. It's the second turn in the series, so if you haven't seen it, I recommend going to watch 4040's first turn. I'll provide a link in the description for those who don't know of him already. And yes, I'll catch you up on the information I gave out in the first episode for him, which was that the area I'm from, the Green Mountains, I believe it was called, or something along those lines, was one of the main places that got taken over, and by defeating all the people across the world, hoping to take it back. It's obviously going to be my main target for aiming back, whereas Cryax Industries, 4040's company, will be aiming to take back places of their own. So far, he's defeated the ones that were on this island, and as you can see there's his ship, which he kindly donated to me, as well as the island, for my own launching purposes and such. Today I'm going to be heading over to a resort island in the very, very far distance to try and pretty much take out one side of their land forces, so they don't have support before we head over towards one of their main bases there. It's likely to be defended, but hopefully I should be able to take it out. Else it might need a second mission to try and accomplish that. Anyhow, for now I shall take off and start the long journey over there. Got a nice long runway for launching off of. Plenty of time to build up speed and such. So 4040, what do you think of my plane from what you can see of it?
What do I think of your plane?
Yeah.
I like his design. It actually looks really cool. It looks like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of some kind of ground attack aircraft. Don't know why it reminds me of a Warthog, but it kind of does. the weapon setup you've got on there is interesting. I'm interested to see how the artillery rockets actually work. Whether they work out okay. And then you've got some little rockets on the front. I'm assuming that once you fired all the missiles off, you'll use the rockets to finish off anything that's left.
Pretty much, yeah.
And they also act as a distraction for whatever you're attacking, because it will be probably trying to shoot the rockets rather than you, because the rockets will be closer, maybe?
Well, hopefully, yeah. As long as it's able to pick them up and fire fast enough, anyhow.
And you've got a... where have you put the weapons pod eyeball thing?
Right on the front of the ship.
Is it on the underside?
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Good place to put that on. Do you prefer the long one, or do you prefer the little one?
Long one or little one for the camera?
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. Alright, getting up a nice bit of speed.
Are you going to wait to nose up until you get over the end of the runway?
Pretty much, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's got a nice drop down, so no point pushing myself up when it's going to be flying off anyhow.
Because the debris is still there from the last attack.
There we go.
That's pulling up pretty nicely.
Yep. Let's get those wheels retracted.
And you'll know that it's starting to load physics in. You usually get a bit of a lag spike as well. Zooming, having it not on maximum zoom will also sometimes help with detecting where your target is. Yeah. Then you wait for it to load in, at which point you should have a pixel glint that you can zoom in at. You should be able to see it. It's within 8 kilometers. It's just very small.
Nope, getting absolutely nothing there. Try.
You're not looking, well, yeah, you need to make sure you're definitely looking at the target.
Nope, can't say I'm seeing anything.
It's probably too small for you to detect. I had a hard time picking them out last time. I had to get my eye in.
Let's have a look for the other one.
Remember, you've using your main view to help line up the green and the purple dots really helps.
Yep.
And you'll be looking for the other one with that hidden because your plane's past it. Remember, when you're starting to try and look backwards, once you've flown past something, the gimbaling on your sensor stops working because it can't look backwards through itself.
Right.
So that's why you're having difficulty tracking it, maybe. I see it.
You do?
Yeah, I can see it on the thing. It's a tiny pixel glimmer.
Ah, there we go.
There it is. It's tiny. Told you. They're really hard to see. Okay, so
Send to GPS.
yep, send to GPS. Now open up the GPS menu. Our GPS coordinator. You should have it as one of the targets at the bottom. If you click on it
Should
and
be that
spin
one.
your viewpoint around so you can see your target. Yep, that's the one. So if you want to rename that, you can do. Just call it Target 1 or something, just so you know.
One. There we go. Right. Let's hide that for a second and see if can't see the other one now.
Remember, super hard to see.
Yeah.
Also, you're going to have to turn your whole plane around. By the looks of it and the way you've got your plane set up, I don't think that your camera has got enough gimbaling on it to look that far backwards.
Well, they don't seem to have noticed me yet, which is a good thing.
I'd say you're probably outside of their engagement range. You're above 5,000 meters anyway, so even if you were directly above them, they still wouldn't be able to really do anything to you. If they're the same kind of things, they only had relatively small guns that only really started to fire on me when I got super close.
Yeah.
I also had a jammer module. Have you got a jammer module installed?
Yes, I have.
But it's not on.
Probably not. Turn it on in a second.
I mean, you're fine at the moment. You're well above their engagement range, and you are away from them. So even if you're directly above them, which is the shortest, closest range you could possibly be.
Yep.
Although they are on a mountain, and that 5.3 kilometers is sea level, so you could potentially get a bit close to them. So remember, even though that's looking at them, you can't see anything in this mode. You need to really zoom in.
Yep.
Zoom 3, you'll see it as a pixel, and zoom 4 is where you'll actually be able to see it. And I think that's why we couldn't quite tell what's going on. So you just try and line it up as best as you can, then zoom into 3 and see if we can see the pixel. And try zooming in again to the fourth closest zoom, see what we got.
There we go.
There it is. There's the little bugger. They're so tiny. There you go, and then log that one.
There we go.
So again, go to your GPS.
Da, 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 da. There we go. Yeah.
So if you click on it,
Target
just to check
2.
that it's the right one, although I think it is.
Coordinates wise, it's the right one.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, you're within its engagement range now. It's 4.7 kilometers away. Whether it starts firing you or not, you don't know. You're on Team B, so you're on the team setup.
Yep.
Have you got your jammer turned on?
Not at the second, I don't believe.
Then it might be trying to track you at the moment. It takes a little while to lock on sometimes.
Pretty sure I put a tracker on here anyhow.
In the jammer's a long pod thing, just like the eyeball thing. So that's not the jammer.
No, alright.
A jammer's a very long, heavy pod that you attach to your ship that helps stop radar signals.
In that case, no.
It doesn't seem too interested in you, to be honest.
No.
Weirdly. He's only 2.6 kilometres away from you, and he doesn't seem to be that interested in engaging you.
Ah, there it is. Right. Think I'll get a bit of distance away and then turn around so I've got some straight shots at them.
Okay.
Oh, relatively straight shots anyhow. Oh, there we
Okay.
go.
You're about 7 clicks away from your first target.
Yep.
So remember to have it selected on your GPS menu before you fire. It has to be highlighted in the selection menu.
Yep, it's selected.
Yep. So, and your trigger is armed, which is good.
Yeah.
And you just need to fire your missile either by right clicking on the missile, which is probably your best selection.
Yep.
Be prepared for your ship to lurch once you let go, because those things are heavy. Or if you fire that one and then swap to your next target and fire the other one in quick succession, it might work.
Come on, bring up the menu.
Although you're getting way too close to use your cruise missiles. It's going to overshoot. Cruise missiles need a long run up.
Yeah. Actually, that's
Cruise missiles,
it.
you see the fact that you've got the surface launch cruise missile equipped, not the airplane launch cruise missile.
Yep.
see what that thing does. Okay, it seems to be guiding its way to its target, although I'm not sure if it's going to overshoot or not. I've never used an artillery missile before, never. So I genuinely don't know how this is going to perform for you.
Yeah.
So there's shots coming in at it.
Yep. And missing.
That's good. So
They went right
it's
past
an
it.
artillery missile. I think it's missed. Big and slow and fired way too close to it.
Yeah.
These GPS guided missiles, you really want to fire them at very, very long range. They just don't have the control surfaces on them. They're big, slow kind of devices.
Yep.
I mean, you've got, looks like the surface launch cruise missiles, they've got rocket boosters on them.
Yep.
While the rocket boosters are firing, they're just trying to get up to speed from basically zero velocity.
Yep.
And when they're firing, it can't control itself. It's literally just powering up to speed. When they stop firing, it then gets a modicum of control back. You've mounted them onto an airship, so when you launch it, it's going to be going 200 meters per second already, your speed. Add the rocket boosters onto it, so it'll probably go up to about 400 meters per second. That'll fire off for quite a long distance before it regains the ability to control.
Right.
The faster it's going, the more, unless it's going up to its optimal speeds, the more control issues it will have. If it's going too fast, it just can't physically bend in towards the target. The artillery missile is also something that you kind of want to fire from quite a long, you want to fire them from a relatively long range. You want to more or less have the nose of your craft pointing at the target, I think. By looking at the flight statistics of that missile,
Yep.
it curved, but it only curved very gently, the artillery missile. It looks like one of these things that you, again, sit on a big ground launcher, wander up to within 10 kilometres, fire it, it goes up into the atmosphere and curves back down gently onto the target.
Well, that wasn't too bad for a test launch of it.
I mean, firing your I try and gain some height and fire off the cruise missiles, because the cruise missiles have got some real range in on them.
Yep.
You fire one and then just fire the next one as well. Cruise missiles don't do well when they're fired too close to your target.
Right.
Okay, you're firing with the nose of your aircraft very drastically as well.
Yep.
It's not so useful to the missiles. They tend not to agree so well with that.
No. Well, it still seems to be going.
Oh yeah, it will. You've loaded the stuff into your missile. I flicked the other one and kind of like, well, your nose is at 90 degrees away from your target at the moment, which is bad for it. I can see it coming in.
Sounds like it missed. Possibly.
Either it was taken out by the guns, I did see some flashes, or it hit the ground near the target, but because the target is so small, it escaped the blast radius.
Yep.
See, you're having some control issues with your airplane.
Yeah.
I think it needs a lot more control surfaces.
Hmm.
You may as well have your... Which target are you going to go for on this one?
That depends how long it takes me to turn my nose slightly.
It really looks like you're struggling with the controls there. You're really fighting the aircraft. Because you're back into an uncontrollable nosedive again.
Ah, I see what it is.
Because it's uncontrollable because you've got so much weight on the one side of the airplane.
Yep.
So you need to just brute force the airplane around, otherwise you're just going to crash. And get rid of that missile as quickly as possible, because you've got missiles on one wing, nothing on the other wing, so you fired everything on the other wing. If it looks like you're going to crash, dump the missiles, save your pilot. Might have, yeah, if you can't, if you've got no control whatsoever, then just fire everything, just get rid of it. It might track around, it might try and get to the target, but right now, yeah, you've got...
There we go, that's better. Yep, that one crashed into the ocean.
Has that allowed you to get some control back?
Yep.
So firing at it from above is probably good, giving it lots of distance is good. Okay, so the guy's heading straight up.
Yep. That's just one.
It could be part of its programming. The missile might behave like that.
That's
try and gain height before coming down on target.
That's not one of those missiles, that's just the standard rocket.
Say again?
That's just one of the standard rockets.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh, you got Hydra selected. Hydras are like super short-range rockets. You only want to use it within like 1,000 meters, if that. 500 meters, 200 meters is its range. You use it on very fast. Use Hydras on very fast, close range, just flyovers. Right. Hydras don't lock on, and they generally don't fire in straight lines either. They just kind of whiffle around a bit.
Well, that just exploded halfway across the island.
I mean, you've still got an artillery missile, but you're getting a bit close for that now.
Yep.
Because you've still got your Hydras selected. I'm assuming you're going to try and just shoot with your Hydras.
Yep.
Although I'm worried for your pilot. I might just might just fly into the mountains of it. You're firing them at 3 kilometers. These things are not going to hit anything at this range.
Nah.
They don't have the fuel because they're just tiny little rockets. They burn for about 30 seconds, then the fuel cuts down. They just drop onto the floor.
Oh, that one wasn't too. Yeah, not too far off.
That's not so bad. Well, they have tiny blast radius though. You basically got to hit your target, and your target is tiny.
Yep. Oh, that one was close.
You might be lucky and knock it down the mountainside and break it. I'm assuming that's what you're aiming for these small targets, is using the artillery missile to literally not actually hit it, because it's not going to be able to, but hopefully land close enough to smash it down the mountain.
Oh.
Incoming fire.
It's noticed me. So.
He's 2.3 kilometers away. If you're going to manoeuvre, now's the time. Oh, it hit you. That was a hit. It's pinging off you. It's got a bit of a shotgun effect going on now. It's just kind of saturating the area. Oh, no hit on your tail. I'm not quite sure if it's blown anything off yet, although you really want to hope that it doesn't hit your artillery missile. Okay, looks like you're pulling away from it enough now that it's not bothered anymore. I'd say probably fire the missile when you get within, I don't know, 10. When you've test fired it before, what was its range? Have you just done a range shot, see how far it goes?
Well, that was about 10k when I fired it last time, so.
Yeah, well, your nose up, which is good, which may allow it to gently loop up and then down onto the target, which is fine. But you need to make sure you're lined up, pointing at your target as much as you can, so the missile doesn't have to burn too much fuel. Although don't go too crazy. Don't lose all of your height. Remember, when you drop sideways like that,
Yep.
you lose height straight away. You just start dropping because you've got no lift rating. And as soon as your flight marker drops below the horizon line, like now, you will lose height.
Right.
And you will continually lose flight. There you go. Off he goes. Now, in theory, if you had multiple rockets and multiple things, you'd be able to swap to your other GPS marker and fire off again and again, because firing it and having it selected loads it into the memory core of the rocket.
Mm-hmm.
In theory. Although for safety's reasons, I usually just keep it selected and keep on the same target and see what happens. I mean, it seems to be nicely dropping onto the target, and unless you're looking at the target, we're not going to see what happens, because the explosion will be very faint. We're out of its render range anyway.
Yep.
But if you click to GPS target, then immediately click lock target as quickly as you can, it should be able to find what you're looking for. You looked in mostly in it at the moment. I mean, you've unlocked the target now. There it is, you can see it just on the right hand side, just a darker pixel on the floor next to the crosshair. So if we quickly zoom in, we might see an explosion. Now hopefully, fingers crossed, that will just destroy that.
Yep. It's getting in close. That looked like it hit dead centre. I can see bits flying.
Can you see? Okay, here's the clue. If there's no purple, if it's all grey writing, you hit target. When there's no purple, it means there's no brain. You've destroyed its...
Yeah, there's no purple.
Okay, I'm going to say target well struck. It's not going to be able to do anything now when there's no brain. It can't, it shouldn't be able to fire back, which meant you've destroyed its weapons manager and you've destroyed its core. Because if people are sneaky, they put multiple weapons managers, multiple cores, so sometimes if it's a big target and you blow up a bit of it, it still can shoot at you. So I'd say good shooting, well done. That had a nice, that was lovely to watch that come in.
So if used right, they do seem to be fairly good.
It didn't seem to want to shoot to die though, which was interesting. It seems like they do shoot at you, but it takes them a while to kind of triangulate, kind of get on target and work out your stuff. So if the thing is dropping straight down on its head, it might not be able to shoot you. The angles that the guns are at might not be able to look straight up, or... Yeah, that's not going to hit anybody.
No.
Those... You need to have your blue targeting directly over the target when you fire those, and the closer you are, the more the chance that they'll actually fly straight through. And you have a hard time making this thing fly in a straight line, let alone trying to actually angle it on a target.
Yep.
I think it's a good ship, but I think it just needs some alterations, and I think more control surfaces, more flaps, and engines that gimbal will give you that control.
Nope, it's firing.
He's shooting at you. Oh, don't die! Keep turning. Get away from him. Oh, that's so close. That is so close. The bullets are literally passing either side of your fuselage. Okay, that's one hit. Fucking hell. Run, Forrest! Run.
It can't hit me. It does nothing to me.
Oh, don't jinx yourself. Have a look back. You can see the shots incoming. You might have passed quickly.
Nah,
it looks like it's not particularly keen on shooting you unless...
Right, well that's one of them gone.
Are you gonna try and keep on shooting at it, or are you gonna kind of give up on mission and go back and land?
I think I might just go back to island and land.
Might I suggest you land at the Kerbal Space Center, not the island?
Yep. There they go. Now they're going to work well enough to bring the nose up so it doesn't do a nosedive.
Yep. Maybe any landing that your pilot can walk away from is a good landing.
There we go. That's looking much better. I always get worried when it's going nose down first. Well, the Kerbal's happy enough. He's got a big grin on his face right there.
It's because he's attacked an enemy base and is so far he's still alive, I think.
Yeah. The plane looks happy too. It's got a nice big smile. Happy plane is happy. Can see the texture on the sand. And a very small something over there.
Piece of debris, it's your wing.
Is that the wing?
It's debris.
Yeah.
Looks like your wing.
I was going to say the wing still had the parachute attached and was still above us last I saw. Oh.
There we go, here's your shadow. Now don't die.
Oh, oh, oh. It's separating, not exploding. Well,
Yay!
he's alive and smiling.
He's alive!
It doesn't look to be obstructed. Yes, and he can get out. See, there's the wing. There's the wing coming down afterwards.
So that was your flight turn. Is there anything you want to deploy, like defences for the?
No. Still got your ship out there that might provide some defences, but
I got no. You've got two. You've got two ground defence, or ground deployments. If you want to, you can deploy the missiles, the AAs, and the goalkeeper stuff that I've got set up here.
yeah.
If you'd like to borrow some of my technology, that's no problem.
Well, I suppose I should probably. Might be a bit safer. Right. But I shall do that at another point. I've been keeping you around long enough. No need for you to watch me setting them out.
Okay, so we'll see everybody later. The next proper episode after Lord Darkane's is going to be the Northern Coalition's turn. Feel free to watch that. It'll be quite a short episode. It'll just be a little summary of what they've done, and then the next main player will be myself. Then we'll move back to Lord Darkane.
Yeah, and I can't see that the Northern Coalition are going to be incredibly happy about being attacked just then, but we'll have to see what happens with them.
Yep.
So I've been Lord Darkane.
I've been 4040.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.